Any other day I'll be heading into the office for a day's work. We're in a very fortunate position that we're going to be doing some fishing, and it's pretty cold, it's not looking great. But it's winter, we're going to give it a go. I'm going to unload the van, get it on a quad, get it all down there and get fishing.
Today I'm here fishing on our church lake for some really big carp. If ever there was an example of where small percentages make the biggest difference, it's these type of venues. Small, intimate venues, and for 95% of the year it's being fished sort of every day, up to 6 anglers at a time. And as a result of that, these fish know how to not get caught. Church Lake is not actually a lake I get to fish myself too often, you know, despite spending a lot of time down here with our offices only being a couple of 100 metres away. It's a popular place, you know, and it's constantly booked out. So when I do get that opportunity to fish for myself, albeit a few day sessions in the winter, I want to do everything in my power to make sure I've got a great opportunity of catching one of the carp that live in it.
I think, unless I see anything else, I'm going to sort of spend more time up the other end, looking up there, because from past experiences I know that that's an area where they like to hold up in the winter. But we're not going to rule out the rest of the lake. I'm going to keep looking, because you never know, I might see something.
When fishing a pressured venue like this, rig choice, bait choice, swim choice, they're the basic foundations of fishing anywhere, you know, not just this venue, any situation you find yourself in. And although on this session I haven't actually seen any signs as of yet, I know the venue, you know, so I'm sort of in the area where I think these fish might be holding up during the colder periods. I know what they like to eat, I know when they sort of like to eat in the spots as such. So I'm confident that I'm doing everything right, you know. So now I know that I'm doing the basics right, it all comes down to those small percentages. What can I be doing that another angler might not be? You know, they say that 10% of the anglers catch 90% of the fish. I believe that to be true, you know, you see it. It's the same anglers catching the fish all the time. And that has to be down to them doing something just that little bit extra, you know, those small percentages that make the biggest difference. At the end of the day, I want to be in that 10%. Imagine that, that'd be the dream, wouldn't it? Hook sharpness for me is one of those biggest earners you can call upon. Everyone knows about how important a sharp hook can be, however, how many people are actually doing it? Many people brush it aside and just say it's not necessary, and at times I would agree with them, you know, but right now, when times are really tough, I need all those small percentages in my favour, and it's something I just can't brush aside. I might only get one chance, you know, it's that time of year, I'm fishing for sort of one bite. A sharp hook is absolutely going to stand more chance of nailing them. That window of opportunity at this time of year can be so short, you know, and so minimal. And that coupled with the fact that they feed differently in the winter. They're not as aggressive as they would be in the summer. They're very lethargic, you know, and very slow between each mouthful. So a sharp hook presented well on the correct rig, of course it's going to nail them. Sharpening hooks it's a massive skill, you know, and it takes a lot of practice. It was only after speaking to Mark Vusen at one of the shows, I remember saying to him that I was struggling to use the vice, and as a result of that I'd gone back to like using hooks out of the packet, and I was still catching fish. And then he said to me, yeah, you may be catching fish, but how many more could you be catching? How many are you missing out on? And it was then that it really got me thinking. The hook doctor has quite literally changed everything, you know. Now I've got complete control over what I'm doing, and it's the only way I can get that hook as sharp as possible. As well as that, it's quick, you know, I can do several hooks at a time, and more often than not, I'll do this in advance, you know, at home or in the office prior to the session. So when I do get that opportunity to go fishing, I've got an array of sharpened hooks ready to go. However, I will also always have the hook doctor on the bank with me. It's perfect for touching up a rig that's already been used. Usually I would sort of discard that rig after it's been in the water for say 24 hours because they lose their sharpness. However, with the hook doctor to hand, I can literally just touch up that rig, get it back out there, and I'm fishing again.
prefer it, you know. Although I sort of know what the bottom's like out there, when you're turning up to venues and you just want to get a single out there and try and get a quick bite, you don't know what the contours are like, then with a long soft boom, this is Armour Link, sort of 25 pound, and the long boom, you cast out, nice little 2 ounce lead, that's going to sit in the debris or the weed or the silt, whatever's out there. This perfectly balanced pop-up is just going to slowly sink and lay on top of any sort of debris that's out there.
Without doubt, a favourite method of mine at this time of the year is single hook bait fishing, whether that be sort of a bright, smelly, attractive pop-up or a zig rig. I often relate this tactic to lure fishing, you know, where you're not giving them carp an option, you're presenting a single hook bait in front of them and enticing them to sort of snatch at it. You're not creating a feeding situation as such. And as a result of that, more often than not, you're only getting that one sort of opportunity of those fish snatching at your hook bait, meaning it's imperative to have as sharp as hook as possible. As for the remainder of this session, yeah, chances are slim, you know, with the conditions, but there's always that opportunity. It's mid-January now. We've had a few weeks of really cold weather. The lake's only thawed out sort of 2 or 3 days ago. And following on from that, we've had sort of 24 hours of constant rain. And the water temperatures are just at their lowest, you know. However, if it doesn't happen on this session, I'm sure if I keep adopting those small percentages in my fishing, I'll have a great year ahead.
We last spoke yesterday afternoon. Unfortunately, nothing happened for the remainder of that session and I packed up with nothing to show for my efforts. However, with the weather significantly improving by the minute, I just had to get down here today for another go. And boy, am I glad that I did. Believe it or not, I've already had a 26 pounder first thing this morning. Just after turning up, I saw a fish jump, cast a single citrus pop up to it with a little bag of fizzing stick mitts. And a short while later it was away. That would have been enough for me, you know, in these short day sessions. But just a short while ago, I managed to receive another bite. And I've managed to land this incredible 31 pound mirror. I'm blown away, to be honest with you. What a January brace that is. Was this the result of sharpening my hooks and putting those small percentages in my favour? Well, I guess you have to make your own mind up on that one. But for me, personally, for the ease and the short amount of time it takes, it's an absolute no-brainer. And this is the reason why.